Yo, what's going on, everybody? We got Steve. What's he doing in the comments? We got Jason, Brian, Oki, HVAC, C Young. Let me make sure everything's working. Okay, HVAC RMN. Mike, what's up? Jason P. I'm probably missing a few of you, and we got a lot of people in the chat already. So welcome back to the Reliable HVACR podcast and live show. We got a really fun, interesting one today. We got the fellas over from the old HVAC Survival live shows. Let me bring on Rick, Steve, and Ryan. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's up?
Bringing the band back together.
Nice.
That was a pretty cool intro there, man.
Oh yeah,
It's
like
a lot more professional than I've ever done it.
It gets kind of
That took some time.
yeah, it takes a while to do them every week. So
How do you steal the video? Do you? Because I can download it to my phone, but I don't know how you get it on the computer other than some of my cheater programs.
oh, I have those on my computer, but no, I just like screen record it off my phone.
Oh,
and,
then upload it.
'cause
Okay.
I edit everything on my iPad, so it's kind of simple for me to do.
You got it made then.
yeah,
I
that's
don't-
cool.
So how's everybody doing? How's y'all doing? No heat calls yet?
In the morning, no cool calls in the afternoon.
No doubt. I've done a few.
Yeah, I saw you had some like cracked heat exchangers. You have some a lot of no heat stuff because I don't see that. I'm in Texas, South Texas at that. You know, we're still in the 90s, praying for that cold front to come in soon.
Yeah,
Get down to the 60s.
Hey,
yeah.
60
We've been doing a lot of preventative maintenances and some no heats, checking those carrier heat exchangers. Hopefully, they won't let us down this winter. It's our bread and butter.
They will. Then the VFD.
Yeah, the
no doubt.
bypassable VFD. They got it so ready to go, just
play,
to
man.
plug them together to bypass it. Wait till the
Oh,
new
man.
fan motor starts going out, the new blue ones. They don't have any of them in stock already.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
I can
Yep.
imagine.
We had one go bad already.
I haven't seen those yet.
They're
They've been down here for a while.
fancy little blower deal on top. Just it's same thing where the other one was at, but it's at that
Yeah.
fancy sloping fan thing. It's direct drive, DC controlled.
Yeah, I was having an issue with one of those before. You had to check the static pressure, and I can't remember exactly, but calculate it and adjust it. And
With the
Quite
DC voltage
interesting.
or something crazy like
all,
that.
everything's right on that board. Yeah, I did some reading on it. Of course, I've forgotten it all now because I did it one time.
Yeah, just set it in
You
the
got,
middle
you got
position.
you
Will
got
be
an
all right.
ABC setting, and it tells you a static pressure and gives you
Halfway to
CFM
C,
that
you'll be
look for.
fine.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Little extra never hurts anything.
you got airflow or not?
It's overrated. That sear crap's all bull. Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was? We were working at a bicycle store, and it was a concentric that came right down about a foot from the RTU, and they were complaining about the air noise. It was too loud. And sure enough, I went in there. It's like, and I checked the static pressure. I checked all the stuff that it required me to, and I told them, well, sorry, but you've got a machine, right there. I don't
Right
know.
there.
There's no drop ceiling. There's no, it's not 4 feet from it or anything. It's like right there. So I said, you're going to have to deal with it.
And that's why I like watching all of you guys' channels. You all have a lot of variety because I don't see any of that stuff. And if I get to see it, it's in a YouTube video from one of you guys because y'all cover like a broad range of stuff. Me, it's just like, rooftop unit and a lot of walk-ins.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of PMs lately, though.
I had a September was my maintenance month, and I got really tired of that. And it was like one of our hottest months because like July, August, September, it was just like over 110, up to 115 a lot of the days. And I was like, man, my maintenance fell right in the middle of this. And now it's a little bit better.
Look at that. Jennifer shows up. She doesn't show up for our podcast, but she shows up to this one.
She didn't
Nice.
show up for mine either.
That was dirty of her.
She didn't show up for yours either, Steve?
No,
Oh, jeez.
she's dodging us.
We'll have to do a group one. A group. Oh, man.
Yeah, man. So, Rick, you've been out there working on UFOs or transporting aliens.
Yeah,
How's that been?
transport for next month. Yeah, yeah, she
Because
said
I
something funny
saw
there.
I saw the first video, and like a lot of that stuff went over my head because I've never seen it like that kind of
That's made
equip.
right there in Texas, man.
I had never been.
That little environmental control unit. They love to call it ECUs, and I'm like, what's ECU stand for?
It's an air conditioner we put together. We pieced a bunch of crap together, made an air conditioner.
Yeah, it's made right there. I think either in Tyler or one of them. And yeah, it's the one we're going to use next month. Which that transport there, the cargo was only $300 or $350 million. The one we're going to do next month's worth $1.5 billion.
Huh.
Damn, and they got
That's crazy, ain't it?
And they got you in charge of that now.
What's interesting about NASA is once you're in, you're in. If they like you, you're in. So I mean, they could have used anybody, but you know, they spent 9 days with me and asked me to come back before I left. I'm thinking that's surprising because I was worried. I told the boss man before I left, I said, dude, I said, I can't even get along with my friends usually for 2 days, 2.5 days. I said, these guys are going to throw me alongside the freaking road somewhere about
spend an hour a week with you. And I'm like, man.
Yep. Yep. It went pretty good. I mean, after the rough, it was rough there when the hotel thing, there was if you would have seen that there, what happened in the parking lot. Cause I mean, I was so pissed off cause there was no hotel room at that time. I'm calling my wife, yelling about it, blah, blah, blah. I'm at the back of the parking lot, just yelling, screaming, pissed off to high hell. I'm like, I can't even go out in the stones because some damn snake will even bite me. I'm like, in freaking poisonous snake, Texas, you know? So I had to walk back up front and they're like, hey, we got one up here that's been remodeled that, you know, don't have no curtains and no TV that's turned on, but you know, it's a place to sleep.
Like, was that the one with the roach in the bed?
No, that was the nicest hotel. That was the second most expensive one. That was like $190 a night. And the lady called me and I told her, I said, I told her, I said, what are you going to do about this? Cause I'm like, you know, that pisses me off. I said, my biggest problem is I think it's in my clothes and laid eggs. I said, then I bring it home to my house and it gets in my house and it never goes away. I said, that's my problem. I said, I don't care about the damn bug. I said, I'm worried about what the bug's going to do to my house if it gets in there. I said, that's my problem. And she goes, well, we had an exterminator come out and they said it wasn't a cockroach. I said, okay, fine. I said, send me a screenshot of that. I want to see it. Well, we can't do that. That's property of the hotel. I said, then you're lying to me. Which one is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should have told her, you know, I'm working with NASA.
I did tell her that. I said, that's all right. I said, I'm going to have a freaking, it's going to be a video and it's going to have this crap in there. I said, that's what's going to happen. So that's fine, whatever. And it went in.
Oh boy. That's funny.
Matter of fact, I uploaded that video 3 times and I forgot about that part. And I'm like, shit, I had to download it again, edit that in there and a couple other things. Cause I thought, man, it just seems like we're like skipping something here. I was going back through my credit card, trying to figure out what day was I where? Cause my GoPro kept losing the date and I like, which, you know, you just seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and I'm like trying to put it in order. I'm like, where the hell was we at on that day? I don't even remember, you know, but yeah, it all worked.
No, I really liked that, the 2-part NASA.
Oh my God. It was so freaking long though. Cool. There was like 2.5, 3 hours. Like even this video from Sunday or whatever, that was 3 hours long because I let it record. Oh my God. That's the worst decision you can ever do. Cause you're like, where's the good shit at? And you're like, chop, 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 chop.
Oh yeah.
I was just chop, 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 chop.
I say that every video edit.
Yeah. Cause every time I talk, it's like, okay, what did I say? Is it even important? No. All right. Out it went.
Did they make you no NDA, nothing that they
Nope, didn't even do a background check far as I know.
Really?
Far as I know. I mean, I didn't get to go inside Grumman, Nordstrom Grumman or whatever the heck they are. They didn't even let them go into very many places. I mean, they literally weren't allowed to use their restrooms, and they're spending $300 million plus with them, you know, on each project. So that place there didn't even look like a defense contractor thing. They got bought out by Nordstrom or whatever, Grumman, whatever, and I don't know. It was kind of weird because I mean, like I went there on Monday, and then Tuesday I went and did my stuff. Wednesday they had nothing to do, and then Thursday we took off. And, you know, I wasn't allowed inside the building. So I didn't, he goes, because I could have rented a car if I wanted to, but I'm like, why should I rent a car? So he let me drive his car that he rented. So I I was driving around I didn't show. I thought about showing that footage because like, you know, I never been to California, so I'm like, I got video of the big houses up there on the big mountain and stuff and all that. I chopped all that out, but I thought, well, you know, should I leave that in there or not? So yeah.
Yeah, Jason, did you provide the DJ in the RV?
No, there was no
how many
music
of
at
you-
all.
How many of you were
Nothing.
in there?
There was 7 of us. There's a driver, the quality guy beside the driver, the woman and me, Neil, Mike, and Andrew. Yeah, 7 people. So everybody was an engineer except me and the bus driver. The bus driver worked for NASA too. So I was the only one that wasn't an engineer. And one dude had like a double master's degree, and he told me what he was making a year, and I'm like, man, I thought I was doing good until I heard that. So, you know.
Well, it's NASA, man.
They don't necessarily make what you think they would make, because a lot of their people, the ones that make the most, are contractors. And then if you truly work for NASA directly, they take a little bit of a pay cut, but they have a secured job. It's really interesting. Like when I said in there, I don't understand why we have to watch this thing at night. Why don't we? Because we sell, you know, Johnson Control Systems. I could have our guy freaking put in there a self transmitter, and it could just notify us over our phone, hey, I'm getting too hot or the humidity is too high. Come fix me. And yeah, Jennifer, I'm wearing the same one I wore last year because I haven't worn it since then. And Laura's buying some dress because she's going to be there too. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we bought the tickets for that, but I haven't booked my hotel yet because I got a hold of my Steve there, and he hadn't booked his yet either. So
is everybody going?
AHR, we're gonna drive because it's only like 4 hours for me.
It's 3 hours for me, and I still don't have a hotel, but
you're further away than me.
I've still been thinking about it. I registered, but I wasn't sure if I'm going to go or not.
You're going. Just go.
Just go.
You need to go.
I'm not going. I can't
I'm
make
probably going to
Oh,
come up for at least for a day.
I think 2 days might be plenty. I don't know if I'm going to go for 3 or not.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to go out for the award show the first 2 days, and then probably just head back.
Yeah.
The last day, but in the morning.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, because on the 3rd day it was kind of like drawn out, and you kind of already seen most of it. And I didn't lay any particular thing out or anything, but it was like I just walked around until I find things that was interesting, you know. But I don't know.
Well, yeah, I got to stick around with you the last time, the award show, and then at the AHR, and it's a lot of stuff to get through because I'm trying to walk around, trying to get to everything. I still didn't get to do everything I wanted to either, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because I got to meet the kitchen repair guy.
Jason Latimer.
No,
Or
I haven't
Pat?
really.
Pat
Pat, yeah, Pat. Yep, because he went to the award thing and stuff, and then
he won an award.
Yeah.
The commercial kitchen crew. Now they have a whole they have like 3 people on that show now, and they're doing pretty good.
Yep, they sure are. In fact, if I can do a little plug, we're having Rich Ortega from Rich in Kitchens on this Saturday night. I like that dude.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, he's a good dude. He has his own podcast coming out too. A lot of very strong opinions, but they're good ones. You know, sometimes people got to hear those words that he loves to throw around and put people on notice.
I like listening to him rant.
Yeah,
plenty of rants, but he always has a good message.
Yeah.
So speaking of Misfits, you got the logo back there. I can see. How's that doing, man? How did you end up getting that, or what made you want to start a podcast?
I don't know, to be quite honest with you.
I think we got a text one night and said, I created a podcast.
Yeah, you know, I had been working, you know, me and Rick and Steve were doing the thing on Sunday night, and I let him
down. I quit doing it, and he wanted to keep going.
Enjoyed doing that. And then, as a matter of fact, I was doing a live stream on my own personal YouTube channel, Hughes Man HVAC. And,
I was gonna say those are like the pilot episodes.
Yeah, and I had, Pat Finley on, and then one time I had Jake Krause on, and it was good. And I was like, so kind of tossed around the idea with him. I said, man, I'd love to do something with you and start a podcast. And of course, he was like, sure, yeah, no problem, great. I was like, right on. So then, I'm thinking about it, and I met Jennifer, and I really kind of clicked with her. So I said, let's do a 3-person co-hosted podcast. Awesome. So put that together. Everybody was on board, worked up a little intro, still new to the whole thing. And round came a couple days before episode 1. I'm texting everybody to make sure they're all on board. And no Krause not getting back to me. I'm like, where is this guy? So needless to say, me and Jennifer have now taken over and co-hosted. And to be honest with you, I am happy with the way it worked out. I think me and her have a great banter back and forth. It's worked out. We've had some super cool guests on. If you guys want to go and see who we've had on, they're all there on YouTube or on any of the podcasting platforms. But, it's going good. And we've got some plans coming up here for next year. We're going to, continue with the great guests, because basically that's what we do. We don't sit around and just me and Jennifer talk. If so, 10 minutes and the thing would be over. No one's wanting to hear that. But yeah, I've been real happy. I just kind of did it by the seat of my pants, and I'm glad I did, because it's worked out nice. Jennifer is very smart. She's a great talker. She engages the audience. Me and her
you find out something new about her every week.
I do. And man, this girl puts in work. So I'm real thrilled. I put Krause in the back with I hate the misfits of HVAC kind of as a joke, and maybe not. I don't know, because I don't hear from the guy too much anymore. But I figured, ha. So joke's on me, but not really, because it absolutely worked out perfectly. Me and Jennifer are finding some success in this thing, and we're gonna just keep going with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Krause has got his excuse down there in the message section, though, and I do remember him talking about that, and that was kind of covert. I could understand where he probably was tied up with that thing, though.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's hard to pull off something like that, because I've talked to Pat also about his show and stuff, and podcasting in general, live streaming in general, like it's a little harder to get into it, to do it, to keep it up, and to get what you want out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've talked to other people, like once you kind of switch it up, change it up, it doesn't always translate well as far as like getting views and subscribers. So like you really start again, you start over, you start from scratch. So I mean, it's good to see you guys building what you got going over there. So I enjoy it. I think it's great.
Well, I appreciate that. And the good thing about it is I really had no expectations for it. So it's not like I'm, expecting big things. So little incremental achievements feel good, and I'm proud of them. And I just like talking. So it's working out nice.
It's going good, man. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Steve, what are you up to?
Same old, man. Work, eat, sleep.
Working on chillers and all that crazy stuff over there. You would have loved the training facility that Brett had. He had a lot of pretty awesome stuff.
I saw your video, and I think Ben did a video too, and it looks. I mean, that thing looks awesome, man.
And I think the California one is bigger, but we were here in Texas, so we met up there at the Houston one. And like Brett is such a smart dude, even though he tries to play it off like he's not. He had that stuff hooked up, ready to show us, what he had. Like he didn't have everything, but just going through it. And I don't work on like supermarket stuff. I know, like Rick, you do some of that stuff. I don't know if any of you, Ryan or Steve, ever messed with that.
Try not to. The more important it is, the worst job, man. I mean, they'll call you at any hour And I mean, you got to be there. That's part of supermarket refrigeration.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do y'all deal with that with the supermarket stuff? Like, is it
That's
really
the reason
that?
why we switch our call up. So like we've got a residential branch, we've got our commercial. So our call, the way we did it, like for me, because we've got actually about 7 different companies technically all underneath our name. So I do our commercial calls plus the grocery stores. The residentials go to our other branch, which is more, they focus on that and they do their commercial people. Because even though we're all the same underneath the same abbreviated name, we still all have our trucks labeled individually, even though all of our checks come from the same place, even though the vice president's in charge of everything. Our PO numbers are done underneath each individual company. That way we can see who's producing and who's not, is what I assume. So when we do that, and what's bad is our furthest branch, which is probably 45 minutes to an hour north of me, they're having a bunch of guys retire, so their on call schedules are already getting down to like every couple of weeks they'd be on, so they've gotten us to volunteer every so often. And I hear talk that we may end up having to combine them all together, and now that may make it so we're less likely, but we're going to cover even more. That would make me like almost all of Northwest Ohio that I'd be covering, which would really suck, because if I go to a grocery store, it could be way up north, and then I could have a food processing plant down here, and it could be a mess. Not looking forward to it if that's how it happens.
Yeah, I just like watching, the work. I'm not too thrilled about trying to do supermarket, because I've done work at like a Walmart, but it's because we do the restaurant inside a Walmart. And I go on the roof and stuff, but I don't do anything with the actual like racks or anything.
The equipment I work on is so beat up. That's what sucks. I mean, it like I had one. It was low on charge, and it was on an independent satellite compressor, meaning it's more of a traditional condenser back at the thing instead of being on the rack. Everything, the rack is everything's shared. And they ran a new liquid line when they did the remodel, and they used cases from 2006 because let's do it cheap so we can do it 2 or 3 times. And then they reused the suction line though. So I'm searching the condenser. I'm searching out in the walkways. I put it into defrost. It's hot. It's electric defrost. All the other ones are hot gas. I'm sitting there checking for leaks. I can't find nothing. And it's like, okay, I'm going to get bitched at because I can't find the leak. Now, granted, I only added like 18 pounds. It's not a lot compared to usually dumping 100 in. So, I mean, it's one of them things, and it's like you never know how much the last guy did and just didn't write it down because he didn't want to look for the leak. That's the thing you run into. Some people don't have the same desire to do things as much doing them as correctly as they should be.
Well, Jennifer directed this at Steve. What's your favorite equipment to work on?
I mean, I like a good IntelliPack. I do like working on some chillers as well. I don't know. There's a lot. I like working on a lot of just random weird stuff. Direct fired heaters. We do a lot of those random stuff.
Yeah,
if anybody needs help with Trane equipment, just give old Steve a call and he'll help you right out.
Rick already knows. Rick caught you with some random question though, and these aren't like easy questions. It's like
I've got a hold of him on a chiller. I got a hold of him on a brand new rooftop unit startup. Every time he's let me down, I'm like, dude, you got a chance to save yourself here. What's going on with this computer program? I can't get it to work.
I told you the CGAM sensor was bad, and I was right. But
I got it loaded up, and then I lost the other board, and now I'm waiting for that stupid board to come in. And I'm like, I hope that board's bad. I don't know. I don't know why anybody would ever sell Trane equipment. It's nice stuff, but they have no support whatsoever.
We really don't. It was bad.
They might as well just say, thanks for buying it, but screw you and go to hell.
Yeah, we see Trane a lot.
They never even called me back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I called over to Fort Wayne Trane, and they transferred me down to Indianapolis, and they got my phone number. I'm gonna run this up the flagpole. I'm gonna send it to this guy, and this guy. Not one of them got a hold of me. They didn't email. I gave them my email. They didn't email me. They didn't call me. Didn't do shit.
No, yeah, we see a lot of Trane here, so I'm used to working on them. I'm seeing more Carrier now on like restaurants and stuff. But
this was a chiller though. That's what sucks. And it had a computer program that I've never used, and you have to pretty much use the program to. All the sensors have a circuit board in them that's in this molded little thing, and it's addressed. So you got to address it so that the computer can find it and knows where it goes, because they're all on basically a bus system, meaning they're all, just like a regular 3-wire or whatever. And it found that, but then it couldn't find something else. I forget what it was. I think it was the main board. But luckily, one of the guys from one of the Trane dealers that's no longer truly a Trane dealer, but they sell Trane, but they're not the Weibull Trane. They used to be owned by Trane, and now they're not. So Trane didn't want to renew their franchisee or something. So these guys actually not even working at my company. The one dude spent like an hour and 10 minutes on the phone with me trying to work this thing out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, they are as far as tech support, and you get deep. into
Tony
stuff.
Basham is who I called, and his buddy is who Tony forwarded me over to. And pray for Tony too. He lost his son.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And he was only like 24, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, we got bread in the house. We were just talking about you, man.
Yeah, I've had, which bread is it? Is it the pretzel?
Bread pretzel. Yeah.
Is it the pretzel?
Yeah.
I've called him on when I'm on call, and I've been stuck. Some of my own people wouldn't answer their damn phone, so I freaking called his ass. I'm like, dude, I can't get a hold of none of my own assholes. I'm like, what do I do here? And I show him pictures. I'm like, this shit's from like 30 some years ago. Started up in 1990, 1980s. I mean, it's like, it's a joke. And then, those are some of the things I'd love to show on my channel, but I really can't. Otherwise I'd get shut down.
Yeah. I called Steve too. And I think I hit you up, maybe Rick, on I had a Trane, but rooftop unit, but it was, what the hell was it? A VFD compressor or variable speed. And I had never seen one before, and that threw me off.
Was it digital scroll compressor or just variable?
No, I think it's true. It was true variable, what you had, if I remember correctly.
It was just hooked up. I haven't seen one. It was hooked up to a drive, and I was like, what the hell's going on? So I don't know. I went old school, hooked it straight up, and popped the breaker. I was like, I've never seen one.
We used to have them on some of our racks where we're at, but you can only go so slow because I think you have oil return issues if you go too slow. But I'm not.
Well, there should be something. There should be something monitoring that. I mean, and there should be, something, some kind of oil safety, I would hope.
Yeah, it's over-engineered. They didn't even need that kind of equipment at that. It was a small little fast food chain. Wired up with all these.
Yours was just like a package unit, right? Like it was just cooling a
kitchen, yeah. And they had all these fancy controls on it too, where I was like locked out of everything. I was like, I don't know, I'll try and figure it out.
Jin's going to bed.
And that was a Trane?
Yeah, it was a Trane package unit. So it looked like all the other Tranes, the old Tranes, it just had a variable speed compressor hooked up to a VFD on the other side of the unit. And then it had those, like, I don't see them a lot, but those little touchscreen controls. I think you talked about them, Steve.
Yeah, TD7 or 5 or something or another. Jason.
And then there's a thermostat that's one of theirs too, and it was all like password protected and everything. I was like, oh, whatever. Long story short, we just had to replace the compressor. It was shorting out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's tough. I work on a lot of training, and I've got some access to the controls, and it's tough for us to get help too. That's a Trane thing. They don't like to share information.
We have a Trane supply house here that's really good when I need parts, but that's about it.
Same thing. That's what they sell.
Well, that is right. Then wonder why they're assholes and don't share their information.
It's a lot of it. I don't get it. I went to our local Trane supply house, and if I go over the counter, the guys that I talk to all the time, I was looking to replace my parents' air conditioner, and I wanted something high efficient, and they were like, we can only sell you up to 16 SEER, and well, you got to go over to this other building and blah blah blah. And I'm like, why are y'all making this hard? I walk in the carrier, and they're like, oh yeah, here you go, blah blah blah. Typed it up, told them what I wanted, and I had a quote in like 5 minutes. I'm like, come on, man.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So like I said, I work in Walmart sometimes, but like I started seeing a lot of different things, or at least here. Now those open cases where it's like not the ones on the wall, the ones that are in the middle of the aisles. They have like a lot of frozen foods in them and things that you just reach in and grab. I started
Coffin
seeing,
case.
yeah, I guess because I started seeing them put doors on top of those now, where you have to like open a door like a ice chest and then
Really?
go in
A
there and get
horizontal
stuff.
style that's flat like that and you reach into it?
Yeah, like if you're just shopping around, you want to reach down and get something.
It
They,
slides back or something? I've never seen
uh,
doors on those chest
yeah,
style
I
yet.
think it's a sliding door. I think
Yeah.
I had
Oh,
just seen those. I was gonna
interesting.
ask you about them. I thought maybe that was something that just I hadn't seen before.
Well, you gotta remember, I'm working on these old ass stores. Now,
Oh
granted,
yeah.
the company that I'm working on theoretically owned crap all the way up and down the coast. I didn't know they were as big as what they are, but we got all of them around here. But they're doing some retrofits here and there and converting some stuff to the closed cases, which obviously is a lot more efficient. But they got a lot of them that are just wide open ones. Purely has to do with airband. If the airband gets disturbed, everything goes to shit, and the cooling just falls out on the floor. You put your product up to the edge, the shit falls out on the floor. I mean, it's funny to watch it. I didn't know there was like on like a freezer there'll be 3 sets of fans, top, middle, and bottom, and I had no idea how big of a deal that fan system works. But it's old technology, but it's not as efficient.
It's
Probably
always
be
about
good with a thermal imager to
I looked
see
at
that.
it. You
Did
could
you?
kind of see some of it.
Yeah.
You could see where it was falling out and stuff like that.
Huh.
yeah, it's always about airflow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Brett, for the chillers, I had to get an old Flash firmware to get the new TechView software to work. I don't know anything about any of that.
Never thought about calling him.
Brett can help you with anything.
Yeah, he's Mr. Gadget, that's for sure.
TechView's pretty easy to work with, but most everything new it's all Tracer SC and TU to connect to anything new as far as Trane goes. The TechView wasn't bad to work with, but I do like the newer stuff better.
I don't know. I thought that was just interesting. I had seen that when I was like shopping around. I was like, I feel like it's a little more inconvenient for the shopper to have, or you hesitate a little bit when you got to open doors and stuff. And but I guess right, efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
Yeah.
seen those displays? I don't know if I've seen any here in person, but like the ones that have like you walk into a gas station and you know where the drinks are and everything, and they started putting like LCD screens on the actual doors.
Like the picture of the drinks.
Yeah, you
instead
know what
of
I'm talking
being
about.
able to see. I haven't seen them in person, but I've seen them, online.
I think I brought that up to Brett, and he didn't like it.
People want to touch it. When you touch it, you're more likely to buy it.
Have you guys seen the ones in California where they're actually running chains through all the handles and locking them up? And those ones, talk about making it difficult to buy something.
I was good when I was ready to leave. It's neat to look at, but I don't think I could survive there.
Yeah. You had lunch with Chris, didn't you?
Yep, we had a real good lunch. He
That's
even
cool.
bought. I was going to buy his dinner, and he ended up buying mine. Brought me a hat, brought me a sweatshirt, a T-shirt, and freaking everything. I'm like, damn, dude, and he drove. So it all worked out great.
I got
swordfish. It was really good. I never had swordfish before.
I was gonna say Ben picked up the tab when we went up there, but he didn't give me any swag, so I'm gonna have to get on him.
And step his game up.
I had some questions over from Instagram, but none of you guys went to school for HVAC, right, or anything?
I did.
Oh, you
I
did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm the only idiot here.
I thought I was the only one that went, actually.
I didn't learn a whole lot, but
I didn't either.
I went.
Mine was only a year. Mine wasn't even accredited when I went. So.
And how long did you go for, Ryan?
I think it was 2 years. It was a trade school. I went right out of high school, local place right up the road. I got an associate's degree and I got my, certification there. And didn't know anything. And then I got my first job working at a place called Agway. They delivered fuel oil, and I didn't see anything but fuel oil furnaces for the first 2 years of my career. And then I got my second job because I could tune up a oil furnace pretty good. And that's where I learned residential, gas furnaces and air conditioning. And then was there for about 12 years until I got in the union, and have been where I'm at now since.
And Rick, you did 1 year, you said?
That was all there was available at the time. It wasn't until later they had the associates, but
So like a crash course?
No, it was 9 months, which we went for
Okay.
10-hour days for 4 days a week. So, and I did the day class, and then when I finally got a job in the field, I ended up doing night class. So I work all day and go there from I don't know, 5:36 till 11:30 at night.
Yeah, because I get that question a lot about school. Like, if obviously people ask me is it worth it or should they go? But I mean, everybody's different.
Depends if you're mechanically inclined and if you got somebody that's willing to teach you. I mean,
Well,
I already
Brett didn't
knew a
even
lot
go
of
to
the stuff, but thank God
Brett
I
didn't
had.
even go to school.
Yeah, well, he did, but he didn't go to school for this. He was an electrical engineer.
It helped. It
Yeah.
helped me because it did get me my first job when I don't think I would have been able to get the job had I not had any schooling at all. Little did they know I knew nothing really, but it did get me to get the job. We had Ty Brannaman on. He hadn't gone to school for this either, which I found. I was like, wow,
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
thought that was awesome.
And I went through a 2-year program too, right? It was at my local community college. They're a full-blown college now, but it was a community college when I went. And like you said, it depends on if you're mechanically inclined, and apparently I wasn't that good at that kind of stuff. So I learned how to do all that there, right? Learn how to use tools and braze and all your basics, and that's kind of what you go for.
Yeah.
And at my school was kind of cool because the teachers, they knew companies or people that had businesses, and if they're always looking for new guys, so they would recommend the students over. So then in that sense, they could help you get a job and whatnot. But how long did it take you all to learn when you got on the job? If you said you didn't learn much at school, do you think it took you a while, or did you pick it up pretty quick?
For me, I learned pretty quick with the oil furnace stuff. Then when I started my second job, I was like, gas. Oh boy, I really hadn't ever really worked on that. But with my first job doing residential, I had a bunch of really good guys there that were willing to teach me a lot and were willing to pick up the phone when it was the middle of the night and I was on call and I was working on something I hadn't, it makes me think I got to get back in touch with those guys because they're getting old now. And Ray Price and Ed Dent were the two guys. They were awesome. And, chain smoking, foul mouthed, good old HVAC guys. They were awesome. So yeah, luckily I had a good group of people around me that were willing to help and teach me. How did you get your first job, Steve? I'm just curious. Sorry, Adrian.
No, it's fine.
I jumped in right out of high school.
Okay.
It was booming back then. They hired me not knowing nothing, and I was doing grunt work.
Gotcha.
Just kind of learned as I went. Still trying to figure it out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Rick, did you take a while to pick it up, or?
They didn't let me do on call for almost 2 years. I was a filter changer for 2 years. They didn't trust me. They didn't think I knew what I was doing. Then finally, one day, I started getting some chances to work on stuff, and they're like, "Oh, imagine that." I've just worked on them for 2 years, doing 6 to 7 or 8 service checks every day. I got thinking about it. It's I think it comes out to 3,000, 4,000 furnaces that I've seen run correctly. Now I need to work on them. I know exactly what it should be doing. And when I was doing it, I used to screw around. I'd yank the flame sensor off. I'd turn the gas valve off.
Sure.
I'd do all kinds of weird stuff to it, pull the fan control wire off, do all kinds of different things to make it malfunction. And what happens when I do this? What happens if you short the flame sensor to ground? What's it do? A lot of them runs a fan. I mean, that's how I got really good at that stuff. So
cool. Yeah, I tell some of we have a lot of apprentices that work for us who are in the apprenticeship program, and I'll tell them, hey, when you're out there doing these filter changes, pay attention to how the unit works, see what it's doing while it's working properly, and then you'll have a better idea. Yeah, to poke around, play around a little bit, be careful, don't get killed, but to test some voltages, take some amp draws, look at things, see how they're supposed to work when they're operating properly. You'll have a better idea what they're, how they're operating when something isn't right.
Yeah, that's a good point, because even like myself, if I go to a restaurant or a big commercial building and there's a ton of them, we're doing maintenance or whatever it is, like you can look at each one, get like the readings, like you said, see what it's doing. If you happen to be working on one that's down and there's an identical one next to it, like compare them to each other. It's a lot of poking around and figuring it out as you go.
They can be used as a tool like that too. If you got the same units, I'll tell guys, hey, if the one is the other one working, go over and look at it, see what you got there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, my dad told me that one, and I was like, oh, you're right. Let me go do that.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I pulled a bunch of wires off of something, and I went, oh shit. Well, let me go over here. Look at this.
How did that come back together?
There it is. There it is. I got it.
It's the easiest way, yeah.
That's the best way to learn. Pull them off when you ain't got another one to look at. You got to figure it out.
No doubt.
I had a situation like that with a unit that I went to that like they bypassed and cut a bunch of wires in it, and it was a Lennox RTU. I think this one had like 3 compressors. I don't think it had the Prodigy board or whatever that is.
It's probably an L series.
Yeah, so like wires everywhere. They had a few boards in there. The boards were bad, so I guess they tried to bypass different things and just had to sit down and figure it out wire by wire, Yeah. Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
Got quite an interesting discussion down here in the
I'm trying to look at it right now.
It's like these guys have got it all going on. L1 to L2.
Take it. I got manuals everywhere. Take that manual, take it home and read it.
Yeah, I save the manuals too, especially on new equipment that I've never seen. Take it home, figure it out,
1 for you, 2 for me.
Yep.
Somebody else had asked if you guys could pick any other trade, what would it be? Or what else would you want to do? Anybody?
I don't know.
Kind of like what I do now. With this king of trades, why would you pick any other trade?
Good answer.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be fixing something different. That would all be.
Yeah, that's what I was
doing. Something we do now: plumbing, electrical, whatever.
Because before I knew what I wanted to do or this, I was trying to figure it out, and I was like, I guess electrical engineer is something, or just fixing something else.
Yeah. If I had to do something else, I do like the video aspect of being on YouTube. I like filming and editing the videos together. So if I could ever get a job doing something like that, I would take it.
I'm about ready to send you some footage and just see what the hell you come up with.
Send it. I've put it out there before. I think Pat Finley wanted me to edit an intro to his podcast, and he never sent it to me.
I got to upload
every video I record now.
But the problem is, it's like 40 gigs. Some of this stuff. It's so big.
I edited that HVAC overtime intro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was proud of that one.
You got a knack for it, because I mean, it takes a lot. That's why I'm always giving you compliments on it, because I know how much of a pain in the ass it is and how much it takes to do it.
It's funny because after high school, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was like, I want to go to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh for video production. And my mom was like, I don't know, that's a great idea. And I'm like, all right, well, she's like, why don't you go to trade school? So we went to the trade school and I picked this. But I'm glad I didn't go to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh for video editing, because back in 1999, it was all VHS tape. I would have learned how to cut and splice VHS tape when only a few short years later it was all digital.
They had
anyway,
dual
so.
decks, and you had punch in and punch out.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it wasn't truly having to cut it.
Nah, but you know what inspired me and got the bug for the video thing going for me was when I went in 11th grade in high school. They offered a video production class in high school, and I was like, I'm going to take that. So they lent us out a video camera, and of course, we were all partying back then. So, needless to say, I made a video that wasn't too, it was frowned upon from the teacher because it was just a bunch of high school kids partying. But ever since then, I was like,
oops. Sorry.
I was like, what?
What are you doing?
My phone hit the mixer. My bad. Like, what the hell's that?
Oh, man. Betamax was the best.
Brett has his answer on the screen there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't last very long, though.
Let's see.
You have to have fans first.
That's true. But yeah, like I don't know if people get the whole YouTube aspect of it. Like it is like a whole other job. I've been trying to do like now the podcasting and all the different social medias, and it's like, man, my time, it takes a lot of it. And
Yeah.
I don't know if people get that part of it.
I thought about doing it
until you start doing it.
I should do it in the middle of the week, but usually I end up doing it on Saturday. And then if I can't get it done by Saturday night, I'll try to finish it on Sunday. And then, by the time I get done with church and stuff like that, there's no time to do anything. And that's why my video last week came out 9:00 my time. And I'm like, this is going to hurt me. But the views were up, so it worked out good. I can count on you people that are in the West that are behind me, so 9:00's not that bad. So it's like 5 or 4 or 5 or 6 over there. So then people they hit it, and it makes the algorithm go, oh, look at that. We maybe should recommend that. So
Yeah, I used, when I first started it, I was super editing everything, taking
I was the same way.
a week to do it, and then I get, a lot of people appreciated it and a lot of people didn't. A lot of people, I like to put music in some of my videos.
They all bitch about that.
Some people like the music, some people don't. So I've been kind of doing a mix, a lot of times some of the best views I get are on no editing at all. I basically just cut out whatever and put it out there. And then, so I kind of take my time with some when they feel right, and I'm like, this one needs some more editing. I'll take some time on that, but trying to, shorten them up, not shorten them up, but shorten the amount of time I take on them.
I used to be the same way. I would take like a week or so to edit and try and get everything. Or there was a lot that we had to edit or go through, and try not to do that anymore because like it just takes up so much time. Yeah,
for half the time, the videos I spend the most time on editing get hardly any views anyway, and then I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like, it's you want to be simple with it, but then like you want to have it your way or your style, and
that's why I made my style just basically
just put it out there.
It's just you get what you get. This is it right here.
Yeah.
Well, I've always liked editing and like I really enjoy movies and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I get it from. And watching
that too.
Watching guys like Tito and how they did their videos, because I would watch Chris and Tito a lot beforehand.
Yeah,
that's where I got like some of the stuff I do from.
Yeah, but if anybody out there wants something edited, don't fear. I will not skimp on the editing for you for the right price. You won't be disappointed. I'll re-edit it. But yeah, I'm kind of throwing it out there, because, I enjoy doing that. And if I could make a good product for somebody, I would do that. Still see Kraus getting.
The problem is we don't make enough money. I mean, some of these videos aren't making $30, $50 if you're lucky. And it's like, it wasn't for all the old videos I've got, I wouldn't be making squat. So, I mean, even when a video does good, I mean, it's not a lot of money.
Even you at that high subscriber count?
5,000 views might only get me $40. I mean, you know, they're raping us. They're getting all the money. YouTube gets the
It's
money.
like almost half of it or something.
It's not even a freaking. I don't think we get like a penny per view or something like that. It's really super low. I thought it was $10 per 1,000, but I think it's more like around $8 per 1,000 views. So,
yeah, I was looking at mine recently. Yeah, that sounds about right.
But then you got some though that go crazy that get 100, 200,000 views. Now you're making maybe 400, 500, 600. You know, now imagine being these people that get 1 million views. They're making $10,000. You know, it's for one stupid video. Now you can pay an editor and all that stuff, you know, but we're doing stuff that not everybody's necessarily interested in. So what do you do?
I don't know if the rest of us have that 100, 200,000 views. I think the highest one I have is like 50,000 maybe.
Yeah, but my one that has the highest views is one I screwed up on and blew the fuse, and everybody thinks I'm an idiot. So I mean, you know, well, I did something wrong, and that's the one they don't watch any of the other videos. They just watch that one. Hey, you can't even figure out a Goodman heat pump. And I said it's a piece of crap. You know, I'm working on this piece of junk, and people are like, I don't know. It's funny. I just quit. They luckily quit talking to it because I just quit even replying to that one. It's just like heart. You suck, heart. You know,
it's all the
better
comments,
turds than you. Click heart. You know, thumbs up. You did great. You know.
Yeah, the comments are kind of funny to go through sometimes, and they always have something that they want to point out or whatever, but. I mean, we're out here trying to
really
do
pretty good. I can't complain. I mean, I get a couple, and like on the Mitsubishi one where I ranted about it, it was only about 2 or 3 comments I got. But the thing that the one guy,
it's a lot better now, I will say.
He was serious about me blowing up the guy's stuff, and I was damaging it and how I should feel bad. And it's like, if I was going to damage somebody's equipment, I sure as hell wouldn't show it on freaking video. They had the covers off, and it was noisy because it was at full speed.
Sure.
But this guy, I don't know where he was at in there, but you know, I told you, Mikey boy, I said my bitch and complaint about Mitsubishi was their training sucked, and it was the Mitsubishi down in Kentucky. So it's right at the Ohio Kentucky border, right there, right outside Cincinnati. That's the one I went to, and the guy for the City Maldi was fairly decent. But that thing is so complex, you can't just learn it in a couple of days, and then not until the very last probably 4 hours did they finally let us get our hands on the shit. Let's talk about all this crap, man. The first damn thing you should have been, here, hook this up and see if you can get it to work. Okay, now let's figure out what you did wrong, and now let's break into it. I've always felt like I could do a better job at teaching this shit than they did, and that's I think the reason why I like showing the videos. I feel like if somebody would have told me, hey, this is something you need to look for, but they never mentioned it before. I feel like it's just the little hints that either they didn't think it out or maybe they don't want to tell you. I always feel like somebody's holding back information, and that's how that class felt like. So, yep. Because I know what questions I had. It's like, and then when I finally get it, it's like, hey, and that's why I pointed out a lot of times in the video. It's like, hey, because I know it was something I didn't know, and it's like all of a sudden I learned it. I'm like, oh shit, now I get it. Okay, now I see what happens. Hey, guys, watch out for this. You know, this is something that can happen. That's a lot of times why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Basically, that's how service works, isn't it?
Until you learn it, and then when I get good at it, I don't want to do it.
Figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, my best stuff I'm at is residential, but I don't want to do it no more. I mean, I've luckily haven't had to for a long time, but you know, every now and again, like that one there, she sent it to me because nobody else was near it. And as you can see in the video, I was out in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, and then, you know, that thing lost that much freaking refrigerant. They're like, oh, I never had one leak in the coil. You're screwing that old man over and his dog. I mean, I take offense to that because I ain't going to rip nobody off. You know, it just bothers. Yeah. That's why it pisses me off. They're accusing me of doing something I didn't do. I don't like that. Not so much that they said you sucked. It was more accusing me for ripping somebody off, and that's not the case.
Yeah, because I used to try to answer like all the comments before too, and it gets very tiring and exhausting. But like you said, the ones where they like assume that you're doing something that you know you're not, I kind of got to go in there and defend myself a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, and people tell me like not to worry about it, but I'm like, I don't really care. It's just I gotta like say something so that other people don't think, you know, this or whatever.
I live for the comments. Otherwise, what's the point of making the video? I mean, if you're not making shit, I mean, I make good money at it because I have so many of them. But for each individual one, it's not worth it. But I mean, I watch some people, they don't even acknowledge anybody in their comments. And it's like, do they even give a shit what they're doing? Or is this purely a business only? You know, they don't even give no likes, no nothing. And it's like, okay, they just dropping this thing like a turd on the sidewalk. And if it does great. And if not, whatever. I mean, whatever.
I let the comments stack up for a bit, and then I rapid fire.
Oh,
Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
yeah.
Thumbs up. Because it's hard.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I'm waiting for them. I'm like, because it's always my best viewers. Like Mike B always has something to say. Jason Johnson always has something to say.
Yeah.
And they're all supportive. And, you know,
Sure. Absolutely.
Who else do we got here?
Or like the good comments where they point out something that you missed or
And that's fine. I have no problem.
Yeah.
If I screwed up, I have no problem saying, hey, I screwed up. But if I'm right, that's where I fight you on it. But if I'm wrong, or, you know, I have no problem. Hey, I sucked. I screwed up. I made a mistake, whatever. And there's a lot of times I leave them in there just so people know that I'm not just editing out all the bad ones. And then, you know, that way more credibility.
Now, I've taken some comments that were just like, you know, they were just mean. You know, they're like, you suck, this and that. I'll take them and pin them to the top. You know?
I do too.
Like, there you go. Just so everybody can see, because, you know, I like the ones that are held for review.
Yeah. That's
like,
always like,
those are like, I always check the held for review, and I'm like, man,
I've got a lot of keywords that get mine. Like I had to put love in there. So when they say I love your videos, that gets held because I had these damn hooker looking girls on there constantly trying to get you to come to their website. We love you long time. So I put love as one of my keywords that gets it flagged. My company's name, where I'm from, all that's keywords. If you enter any of that shit, it's going to hold all of it. Any of my customers that I'm at, I got them in there too. If you enter it, it's going to get held for review. So, I mean, that way I don't have to be like scared that they're going to out them, because I've done some where they're like, I grew up in that town. That's whatchamacallits, you know, it's like, oh shit, you know, it's like, and that's why sometimes I'm leery about showing anything that's too horribly bad. Like I've got one, man, this bar, it was a rat hole, and it's like, I'm not going to show it. I mean, it had like mold and stuff all over the thing. It was bad.
Yeah, some of the people there don't understand, you know, the stuff that we see every day, and like that's just real world, you know. If I see anything outlandish with the restaurants, I'm like, I bring it up to them, but there's nothing I can do about it, right?
I just tell my friends, don't eat at this one. You know?
Oh yeah.
Ice cream. I mean, I've got a local guy, and I mean, he is overboard. He's the kind of guy that put up, you know, expensive lighting, put up stainless steel around his spouting. I mean, he's just overboard on everything, but he's like that when he wants your equipment service too. He'll spend what he needs to spend to get it done right. And you can eat off his floors. I trust him because I've seen it. I've been on his floors. I know what's nasty and what's not. And one of the national chains that technically they buy in on it, they don't even clean their machines like they should. They're supposed to be cleaned twice a week. They're cleaning them maybe once every couple months. How the hell it's not destroying the seals and everything else is beyond me. But I'm like, but I eat there sometimes because it's free. So, you know, but
man,
but, you know.
yeah, don't even get me started on the ice machines. I have to fight for those to get cleaned or maintained, you know.
We found an ozone device that works pretty good from what I can see. That's been working really good in like the bread, you know, places that have pizza and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
stick them right in there.
Yeah, you got this little nozzle thingy. So you got this thing on the wall, and it has a little clear PVC tube, like 1/4 inch, and we put it right into the water, and it has like a little bubbler on the end. And every so many minutes, it runs for so many seconds to minutes, and you pick how big of a machine it is, and it runs longer. And it times itself. So every so often, and then it does it again, you know, every so many minutes. And we've used that in the nursing homes. We've used it in several different places. And for the most part, I mean, you're just now getting just calcium buildup, which is natural. So you're not getting that nasty, slimy crap and all the other stuff as much, which makes the job go faster. It took a lot, but I got we tried the UV bulb, and that didn't work real good with the Manitowocks. They aren't that good. Now there's some external ones that have like a big old bulb pack this big. The hell, I don't even clean ice machines that often anymore. She's got me doing all kinds of weird dumb shit. So I mean, that's why I haven't been hardly recording anything lately.
We've got a dental place that has 2 Trane package units, and they want a scent added to the air. So on one of the access panels, they mounted this pump and a big jug of scent, and it stinks because when you shut the blower off, it's still this thing still
Pumping it?
times.
Yeah.
It'll pump, and then it just stinks.
You got to put
You guys-
a relay in, maybe 120 volt coil or 230 volt coil involved with it, so that when the blower shuts off, it breaks power to that thing, so it don't run.
I'm not there long enough to care.
Okay, that's cool.
You know,
I give a shit's broke.
yeah, I'm like, but I've never seen that before. Added scent into the air. You guys ever run into
It's a
that?
little funky.
Yeah.
Nope.
They're hiding something.
Next time I'm there, I'll take some pictures just to send you because I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I had like John Pastorello, and his main thing was like, if it has a scent, there's something worse going on there. Of course, he was bashing on the other companies that do the aerosol with the lemon scent.
Mhm.
That's what we were talking about at that point. But
That's why
Yeah.
I gave him a shout out when I used his product on cleaning that last one, the Mitsubishi one. That's a cool dude.
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
like
he
him.
was great.
very cool.
Let's see.
Mike B says he adds scent in the
Yeah.
air wherever he goes.
Yeah, they don't sometimes like that as well, but yeah.
Not that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Never
residential.
fails, man. You can be all by yourself, man. You fart and somebody come walk right through it.
Yeah, residential. All you had to do was just crack that blower door up an inch, pull it right into the house.
Distribute this through the whole house, baby.
We had a guy when I was doing oil furnaces. Pat was his name. He'd fart and then he'd turn on the soot vac and
Oh, jeez.
suck it all up with the soot vac because we had that powder. Yeah, whenever oil would get everywhere, you'd
Oh, God.
sprinkle that powder stuff down everywhere.
We had the
and-
lady perfume smelling stuff that was really
Yeah.
potent.
Yeah. I've been watching a guy, a Duck Dude Smitty on TikTok. You guys ever watch him? He does a lot of oil furnaces. He always says, "Hey guys, you got Smitty here." That's how he starts his videos, and he does a lot of oil, which that's why I like watching it because it takes me back to when I was doing the oil stuff. But
I don't miss it.
yeah, I don't miss it either. But
And it's changed a lot, I think. I remember and it's been a while since I've worked on some oil, but they were starting to get into positive pressure or neutral pressure, whereas we always used to be 0.002 over fire or whatever.
yeah,
Like I think it was one for Sears or something, but it was whatever brand they were subcontracting maybe. And they were going for anywhere from a positive to just a neutral 0 over fire. And it's like
on a Beckett oil burner.
I think it was a
Yeah.
Beckett, and it had the coil in there, the solenoid, so that it could let it build pressure for a while, and then all of a sudden, click.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's been so many years since I've done any of that. I mean, I still got the tools to do it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
My analyzers worked really good. I've got that one from Infocon. I kind of like it. It's simplistic. It's actually cheap. You can buy that thing with the printer for like $1,000 on TrueTech, and then yeah, it's pretty simple and it's fast startup. It's made in Italy. Obviously, the same people are making it for Infocon that's making it for Yellow Jacket. I noticed they had the same one. And I still got my Testo one too. It's been doing really good too. It's got a lot more bells and whistles, but it's more expensive. It's like $1,400 bucks. But I didn't get a printer with that because I said I didn't think I needed one. But now I regret not asking for it. So.
Yeah, you got a lot of Infocon stuff.
I'm
over
in
there,
with the
don't you?
guy. That I have not got any of that from TrueTech. That is all from my guy at Infocon. I mean, he likes the fact
Nice.
that well, I brag about the leak detector because I truly believe in it. It does a great job. That's why when it got attacked and people said it was a piece of shit, hey, I've had a couple of them fail. They just gave me a new one. But I mean,
Yeah.
they had a two-year over-the-counter warranty on most of that stuff. So I mean, Infocon's been good to me. I mean, and the stuff's made in Syracuse, New York. Almost all of it's either made in the United States. If not, it's always in a better country like Germany or something like that. It's not no sweatshop. So I mean, most of their stuff. I mean, they got some super expensive stuff out there too. So
Whatever works for you. I mean, if it
Yeah.
works, it works.
yeah. The recovery
Adrian.
machine. I mean, it's bigger. That's what I said in that one video. It's bigger than my Appion, but I think it's faster. It really does seem faster at it. So
Yeah, I had seen that. I had actually not seen that they had a recovery machine.
and once again, they're probably not making it, but whoever, it's got like a 1-horse motor in it. It's like stupid big.
Oh,
And
okay.
it has a microchannel coil. So I'm pretty sure it did pretty good on 410A. And see, I don't recover a lot of 410A very often. So it's like I had a couple times, like with the Appion, it took a shit on me multiple times. Like anything over 15 pounds of refrigerant on a 50-pound whatever jug, it would overheat and it'd start hitting that 450 area, 500 pounds, and that's the end of it. So I had to put a fan on it. But this other one, they claimed that you didn't have to have that external thing to cool it. So I haven't had no real problems with it, which it seems to be doing pretty good on that. And the combustion analyzer, I didn't even ask for it. He just wanted to send it, and I'm glad he did, because I kind of like it. Pretty simple.
So
Nothing fancy.
No bucket with water and hose. I use ice for mine.
Oh yeah, a lot of times I don't have it available. I mean, if I go to a factory, I mean, there's nothing there. So I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think he was talking about the other one, right? The old school way.
Yeah.
I was like, I use ice.
I don't even like
tank.
showing bleeding my hoses online or on video.
I saw that somebody posted something like, I can't remember who it was, and right in the comments like, oh, you're letting out all that refrigerant, and they were just trying to purge their line set. And
yeah, people are stupid. I try not to. I don't even like to show that. I'll show bleeding out through the center hose or something like that, because I've been seeing lately a shit ton of non-condensables in the system. And like watching it, and all of a sudden,
oh yeah.
It's like that's one thing I don't like about the digital. They just don't seem to react the same as the analog did. So.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. I don't want to keep you too long. We're at over an hour already. It was really cool getting all of you together again. I don't know if you're gonna be doing any live streams anytime soon, Rick.
Yeah, might. I mean, it's finally getting dark, and now that I hated when it's summer and you can do stuff outside, and I feel like already as it is, you don't get to do much outside, and I knew summer was about over. So once like everything's kind of done where you can't do much, it's too cold to go do anything, then that's when I'm more apt to want to do it, which it's coming real close. I'm finally getting my other Jeep kind of about done, and so it's pretty much not a whole lot left to do then. So now it's come home and just set, so I might as well, it'll be here real soon, I think.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you guys soon.
Cool.
You know where to find me.
Right.
Thanks for coming in, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button there.
You.
Yeah, and if you guys want to find any of these, I'm sure you're already following them on YouTube. HVAC Survival, Everything HVACR, and Hughesman HVAC. Go ahead and give them a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's see. Anything else you guys want to, or Misfits of HVAC too?
Yeah, sure.
Anything else?
No, we're looking forward to seeing that new thing you've got going on there. So that Thursday.
Everybody's waiting.
Hopefully on Thursday. It's a little hard,
Awesome.
you know how it is getting a group together. So
Sure.
hopefully we can do that already on Thursday. So if
Right on.
nothing else, I'm going to cue the outro.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thank
All
you.
right. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure talking to you guys.
Yep, same here.
See you guys.